There is a kind of quiet that the guilty never understand. It isn't peace, it's pressure. It isn't calm, it's the hand of something patient moving slowly underneath the ground. The kind of quiet that arrives before a devastating sound. I have been that quiet, I have been that still. I have waited in the shadow of the moment until every piece was in position, every variable was clear. That's when I moved, and by the time they noticed, I was already here. They always ask what I was thinking in the hours before. I was thinking of exactly nothing. I was settling the score before the storm. There is no warning that you'd recognize. Before the storm, the sky looks normal to untrained eyes. I am the pressure that precedes the breaking of the air. I am the silence before lightning, and I'm already there. I don't announce my movements, I don't let them see me plan. The most dangerous thing in any room is an unread man. They cataloged my losses, wrote me off as done. They were making plans for after, but the storm had just begun. Ask the men who underestimated what the silence meant. Ask them what they thought was peace. Before the pressure bent, before the storm, there is no warning that you'd recognize. Before the storm, the sky looks normal to untrained eyes. I am the pressure that precedes the breaking of the air. I am the silence before lightning, and I'm already there. I have watched men panic when the chaos finally came. Scrambling for a reason, scrambling for the blame. But I had built the storm myself, stone by stone in quiet. And everything that happened next, I didn't start the riot started me. I was never caught by surprise. There is a kind of quiet after that only victors know. Not proud, just still. The way a storm looks right before it goes. Every man who ever doubted me became a stepping stone. Every door they closed in front of me became a road out. Every word they said to break me down became the fuel I burned. And everything they tried to hide from me, I took back and earned. I used to pray against them, pray they change or go away. Now I thank the Lord for every single one of them today. Thank God for my enemies. They sharpened every edge I have. Thank God for my enemies. They showed me what I lacked. They pushed me past the limits of the man I used to be. Thank God for every enemy who didn't believe in me. The man who took the contract I had built for 7 years. The woman who betrayed the plan before it could appear. The mentor who dismantled what he spent his lifetime teaching. They all became the architects. Everything I'm reaching, I don't wish them harm. I don't want their downfall now. I just want to live the answer to the question of the doubt. Thank God for my enemies. They gave me what no friend could give. Thank God for my enemies. They taught me how to live in the fire of opposition, in the cold of their disdain. Thank God for every enemy. I thank them all again. You can't be forged without the heat. You can't be sharpened without friction. Every trial was a teacher, every loss was a decision that made me exactly that. They meant it for my ending, but God meant it for my rising. And I rose, and I rose, and I rose, and I rose. Thank God for my enemies, every single necessary one. Thank God for my enemies. Look at what they've done. They built me past their ceiling, past the walls they tried to place. Thank God for every enemy. I see their gift in every scar on my face. Yeah, yeah. coat this morning with a different kind of weight. Said goodbye to every room and every promise running late. The photographs still on the wall, I left them where they stood. Some things deserve to stay behind in the only life that's good. A man who's done what I have done don't get a clean exit. He gets a quiet morning and a coat, and that's about the size of it. One last coat, one last door, one last look at everything I said I'd die for. One last night of knowing who I was and what I'd been. One last coat on the back of a man the world will not see again. I left the keys on the counter by the coffee I won't drink. I stood beside the window for a moment just to think about the life that could have been if certain roads had turned, and whether I was leaving or just going where I'd earned. You don't mourn the life you lived, you only mourn the life you missed. And mine was never on the list. One last coat, one last coat, one last door, one last door, one last look at everything I said I'd die for. One last night of knowing who I was and what I'd been. One last coat on the back of a man the world will not see again. I'm not running, I'm not hiding, I'm just done with the particular geometry of this particular life. Some men go out with fire, some go out with a name. I'm going out the back way, which is roughly how I came. One last coat, one last coat, one last door, one last door, one last look at everything I bled and lived for. One morning without anyone to hold me to my past. One last coat on the back of a man who chose to leave at last. Seven years is a number until it becomes your life. 7 years is a sentence until it becomes your knife that carves out everything that's soft and leaves the hardest grain 7 years of who you were, becoming who remains. 7 years I counted ceilings. 7 years I learned the floor. 7 years I built a silence. 7 years and then one door. And what came through that door was not the man who went inside. 7 years don't just pass through you. 7 years decide. The men outside kept living. The world adjusted without me. I studied it through letters and what the absence of them told me. The ones who wrote in the beginning were not the ones who wrote at the end. 7 years is a test of contracts. Most of them, they bend. I don't ask for sympathy for what I did to earn the years. A man owns his decisions, including the ones that cost him here. But I'll tell you what the years gave back that no one talks about enough. They gave me the ability to sit still without going soft. Not angry, just true. 7 years in the dark, and I came out knowing how to see in it. 7 years I counted mornings. 7 years I learned myself. 7 years removed from comfort. 7 years, the greatest wealth of time spent with your own mind, until it stops fighting you. 7 years I paid the cost, and I came back renewed. I remember your name, not the way that the wounded remember, not with anger, not with fire, just the way a man remembers a number he intends to call. I remember what you said and what you didn't say, and what your silence in that room cost me every single day. I remember your name. I remember the chair you sat in. I remember the hand you extended while the other one was planning. I remember your name. Don't think that I forgot. Don't build your life too high on a foundation I have not. I remember your name. You moved across the city like a man who'd walked away clean. You yourself the story where you're somewhere in between. Not guilty, not exactly, just surviving like we all do, but surviving on the grave of what you buried. That's on you. I remember your name. I remember the chair you sat in. I remember the hand you extended while the other one was planning. I remember your name. Don't think I forgot. I've just been building everything on the foundation of what's not. I don't need to explain what comes next. You already know what a man who remembers and says nothing has in store. I just wanted you to know that I remember. Your name. Patience never fails. I remember your name.
Miller's gonna close on Friday, and they're selling off the stools. The jukebox and the back booth, where we learn the older rules of how men talk to other men. Nobody's performing, of how you hold a glass and what the silence in between is for. I've been coming here since I was just too young to be here. Sat beside my father once and watched him with the men. They talked in half sentences and finished each other's thinking. And I took notes on everything and vowed to learn it then. Last around at Miller's for the bar that built a code. Last around at Miller's and selling folk. I'll raise a glass to everyone whoever sat in this particular light. Last round at Miller's, and one more after that tonight. Every man who ever needed somewhere he could be himself, without performance or agenda, or the grinding of the gears. Found a bar stool at the corner and a bartender who'd listen, and walked out a little cleaner for the time he'd spent in here. I know it's just a building, I know it's just a room, I know the men who made it are themselves almost all gone. But some rooms hold the memory of what happened in them, and Miller's held the kind of men I wanted to become. Last round at Miller's, last glass for what this place has been. Last round at Miller's for every man who came in from the rain, for every honest conversation and every quiet understood. Last round at Miller's for the bar that made us good. Put on my coat this morning with a different kind of weight. Said goodbye to every room and every promise running late. The photographs still on the wall, I left them where they stood. Some things deserve to stay behind in the only life that's good. A man who's done what I have done don't get a clean exit. He gets a quiet morning and a coat, and that's about the size of it. One last coat, one last door, one last look at everything I said I'd die for. One last night of knowing who I was and what I'd been. One last coat on the back of a man the world will not see again.
I left the keys on the counter by the coffee I won't drink. I stood beside the window for a moment just to think about the life that could have been if certain roads had turned, and whether I was leaving or just going where I'd earned. You don't mourn the life you lived, you only mourn the life you missed. And mine was never on the list. One last coat, one last door, one last look at everything I said I'd die for. One last night of knowing who I was and what I'd been. One last coat on the back of a man the world will not see again. I'm not running, I'm not hiding, I'm just done with the particular geometry of this particular life. Some men go out with fire, some go out with a name. I'm going out the back way, which is roughly how I came. One last coat, one last door, one last look at everything I bled and lived for. One morning without anyone to hold me to my past. One last coat on the back of a man who chose to leave at last. I walk through winters that would break a weaker man, across the frozen fields of everything I had. They took the fire first, and then they took the light, and left me with the cold to figure out the night. I learned to eat the silence like it was a meal. I learned to treat the loneliness like something I could feel, not as a wound but as a teacher, as a guide. The emptiness outside was smaller than the one inside. This is the way to winter, that no summer fully heals. This is the price of standing when every bone just wants to kneel. But I am still here, still here, still standing in the cold, and everything they tried to break just made me iron and old. The men who left me for the dead have built their lives. They
drink their wine at tables lit with candles and with lights. I don't begrudge them warmth, I just refuse to freeze. I built my fire slowly from the splinters of their trees. They said survive the winter and you'll understand the spring. I'll never chase the flowers, I just learned what cold can bring. This is the weight of winter that no summer fully heals. This is the price of standing when every bone just wants to kneel. But I am still here, still here, still standing in the cold. And everything they try to bury just turned to iron and gold. You don't know what a man is made of till you watched him freeze alone. You don't know what a man is worth till you watched him build a home from nothing, from ash, from the ruins of a life they said was done. I am still here, after everything. I am still here. I walk through winters that would break a weaker man, and I am still walking.
You sat beside me at the table that I built. You wore my trust like armor, felt no guilt. I handed you the keys to everything I made. You used them to unlock the door to my own grave. A man can take a bullet and survive the wound, but betrayal from a brother leaves a different kind of ruin. Even kings must kneel before the weight of what they've lost. Even stone must crack beneath the cold, relentless frost. I've been where the loyal turn to wolves without a warning sign. Even kings must kneel, but not for long, not this time. I watched you at my funeral, dressed in mourning black. You cried the kind of tears only a traitor cries, in fact. I stood among the shadows and I let the moment shine. Sometimes the most powerful thing a man
man can do is leave. They said I should have seen it coming. Maybe that is true, but I was too busy building what you planned to take from me and you. Even kings must kneel before the weight of what they've lost. Even stone must crack beneath the cold, relentless frost. I've been where the loyal turn to wolves without a warning sign. Even kings must kneel, but not for long, not this time. Lord knows I tried to keep my hands clean. Lord knows I tried to see what you meant. But some lessons come at too high a price, and some men only teach once. You took what I love. You took what I built. You took what I built. You left me with nothing. You left me with nothing but the fire and the wind. Ask me now if I regret the road that I have walked. I pour my drink in silence. Kings don't talk. My father told me never draw your gun unless you mean to end it. And every man deserves one chance to leave before you send it. I sat across from men who begged and men who tried to lie. I poured them all a glass of wine and looked them in the eye. This life was never what I chose, it chose me from the start. I learned to keep my hands real clean by hardening my heart. I am the last of a dying kind, a gentleman with a criminal mind. I live by codes that the world forgot. I give what's earned and I take what's not. The last gentleman. They call it organized, but there ain't nothing organized in grief. When you bury men who trusted you and call yourself a chief. I iron my suit every morning like my father showed me how. Some rituals remind you what you swore and what you vowed. They see the suit, they see the cane, they see the silver ring. They never see the boy who lost everything. gentleman with a criminal mind. I live by codes that the world forgot. I give what's earned and I take what's not. The last gentleman. Know the cost of all this power, every quiet room, every sleepless hour, every name I carry like a stone beneath my chest, every deal I made just to outlast the rest. I gave everything and still they wanted more. I bled on every floor and still they called for war. Give what's hurt and I take what's not. The last gentleman. I made an oath in a room with no windows to men who would hold it until they were dust. I placed my hand on a language of silence and swore to the things that a man swears in trust. Not God, not country, not law as they write it, but something more ancient than all of that weight. The code that was handed from father to father, the oath that arrives at the end, never late. They say oaths are broken, they say codes are fiction. They've never stood in the room where it's real. This is the oath I was given and kept. This is the code that I carried while others slept. This is the weight that I chose at the door. This is the life of a man who swore not to be righteous, not to be clean, but to be what he said and to mean what he means. This is the oath and it holds me still past the grave of the men and past the code of the will. Have seen men break it, I have seen what it costs.
I have watched the unsworn build their houses on frost, and I have seen them collapse when the season came cold, because a man without an oath has nothing to hold. Not judge of others, just keeper of mine. The oath doesn't care about your bottom line. This is the oath I was given and kept. This is the code that I carried when others slept. This is the weight that I welcomed at the door. This is the life of a man who swore. When they ask what I stood for, I won't have to think. It was never about the empire or the power or the drink. It was about the word I gave in a room with no light, and the fact that 40 years later I kept it tonight. I kept the oath. I kept the oath. When it cost me everything, I kept the oath. And that kept the oath. That is my everything. Of a man who never put the oath down. Never put it down. Never put it down. The smoke above the city tells me everything I need. Which men have lost their hunger, and which men have learned to bleed. I count the streets below me, and I name them every one. Every road was paid for long before the job was done. I don't celebrate the victories, I mark the date in stone. Every empire built in silence starts with being alone. Smoke in silence, that's the only life I know. Smoke in silence, where the cold and ruthless go. I'll be standing when the fires turn to ash, and everything you thought was yours didn't last. My enemies read books on how to beat a man like me, but books don't teach the patience born from real poverty. I watched and waited till the timing was exact. Moved so quiet by the time they knew, no turning back. They call it darkness, but it's just a room without their light. I was built to navigate exactly this kind of night. Smoke and silence, that's the only life I know. Smoke and silence, where the cold and ruthless go. I'll be standing when the fire's turned to ash, and everything you thought was yours didn't last. I've sat in rooms where men decided fates, shaking hands that carried nothing but mistakes. Sign my name to things that history won't forgive, but every man must choose exactly how he's going to live. Don't talk to me about the light. I made my peace with the night. That's the only life I know. Smoke and silence, smoke and silence, where the cold and ruthless go. I'll be standing when the fire's turned to ash, and everything you thought was yours didn't last. I was born in the dark before I knew what light was for. In rooms where men worked tired and walls held quiet wars. No silver in the bloodline, no safety net below. Just a fire in my chest and nowhere else to go. They said that where you start in life is where you're meant to end. That blood will tell on everything, and fate will never bend. But I have watched the ceilings fall on men who thought they stood above, and I have seen the floors become the thrones of those who chose to shove. I am not what I was given, I am what I chose to take. take you. Born in the dark, born to rise. I wore the same clothes for a season, not from shame but choice. I was saving every fragment, building power, finding voice. I studied every man above me, how he walked and where he slipped. And I waited till I knew the game before I made my trip. They say you cannot choose your beginning, but you own your middle page. And I have written every chapter of my life in careful rage. I was born in the dark, but I will not die there. I was built from the cold, but I carry the fire. Every scar on my head is a chapter of proof that a man who wants nothing can never take you. To every man who's standing at the bottom, looking up, to every hand that's empty and every empty cup, to every voice that told you that your blood decides your worth, let them watch, just let them watch, let them see what you're worth. You were born for more than what they gave you at the start. You were built from harder things, let it show the world your heart. I was born in the dark and I carried my own light. I was written up before I started and I own the night. I was born in the dark, and I carried my own light. I was written up before I started, and I own the night. I was born in the dark, but I will not die there. I was built from the cold, but I carry the fire. Every scar on my hands is a chapter of proof. Every road that they closed, I made into a truth. Born in the dark, born to rise, born to prove that the dark made me. Born to dark. I was born in the dark before I knew what light was for. In rooms where men worked tired and walls held quiet wars. No silver in the bloodline, no safety net below. Just a fire in my chest and nowhere else to go. They said that where you start in life is where you're meant to end. That blood will tell on everything and fate will never bend. But I have watched the ceilings fall on men who thought they stood above. And I have seen the floors become the thrones of those who chose to shove. I am not what I was given,
chose to take. Every version of myself before was practice for what I would make. I was born in the dark, but I will not die there. I was built from the cold, but I carry the fire.
I built things that will stand when no one knows my name is on them. I laid foundations under buildings people walk above. I made decisions that will echo 40 years in ripples that nobody will trace back to the source of where they come from. That's how I wanted it, not from a lack of pride, but from a deeper understanding of what permanence requires. The man who builds for credit builds a different kind of structure than the man who builds because the thing itself requires. The invisible legacy is the one that doesn't ask for a plaque. The invisible legacy is the thing that holds the world in the bag of the mind of every person who was shaped by what you made. The invisible legacy is the longest kind of mark a man has laid. On the bridge, but I know where I put the steel. My name will not be on the building, but I know which floor is real. I did the work that needed doing at the level that it needed, and I sleep the way a man sleeps when his conscience is completed. They will wonder how it held so long. They will study what was underneath. They will find the quality of something built by someone who believed that the work itself was the reward, and left it at that. The invisible legacy is the one the centuries will find. The invisible legacy is the one that doesn't need a sign. I built it, I am done now. I can go in peace at last. The invisible legacy is the only one that lasts. Revenge is a fire. It burns and it's finished. Justice is a river. It takes exactly the time it needs. Revenge is the sound of a man losing patience. Justice is the sound of a man who proceeds without announcing. I've watched men burn their enemies in anger and in public, and spend the next decade rebuilding what the fire cost them too. The man who chases vengeance trades his future for a moment. Justice asks you not to rush and does the work for you. Justice is patient. She doesn't need your help to arrive. Justice is patient. She only asks that you survive long enough to witness the mathematics of the truth. Justice is patient, and she charges compound interest on what's due. I built my life beside this principle and tested it in winter. I watched the men who wronged me build and overreach and fall. I never moved against them, I just moved without them in the picture. And justice did what justice does, which is, takes care of all. There is a discipline required in choosing not to strike, when every instinct in your body tells you now is right. That discipline is everything that separates the kinds of men who end up in the history from the ones who end the same as them. Justice is patient, and I have learned to be the same. Justice is patient, and patience is the longer game. I don't need to see it happen, I don't need to be the cause. Justice is patient, so am I. And that is the last law. My father told me never draw your gun unless you mean to end it. And every man deserves one chance to leave before you send it. I sat across from men who begged and men who tried to lie. I poured them all a glass of wine and looked them in the eye. This life was never what I chose. It chose me from the start. I learned to keep my hands real clean by hardening my heart. I am the last of a dying kind, a gentleman with a criminal mind. I live by codes that the world forgot. I give what's earned and I take what's not. The last gentleman. They call it organized, but there ain't nothing organized in grief. When you bury men who trusted you and call yourself a chief. I iron my suit every morning like my father showed me how. Some rituals remind you what you've sworn and what you've vowed. They see the suit, they see the cane, they see the silver ring. They never see the boy who lost everything to be this thing. I am the last of a dying kind, a gentleman with a criminal mind. I live by codes that the world forgot. I give what's earned and I take what's not. The last gentleman. You wanna know the cost of all this power? Every quiet room, every sleepless hour, every name I carry like a stone beneath my chest, every deal I made just to outlast the rest. I gave everything, and still they wanted more. I bled on every flaw, and still they called for a gentleman with a criminal mind. I live by codes that the world forgot. I give what's earned and I take what's not. The last gentleman. The last gentleman. I built my empire on the silence of my enemies. Learned early on that trust is just a debt you cannot see.
They smiled across the table, shook my hand and called me friend. But I watched their eyes real careful, knew exactly where it ends. They said I'd never rise above the ground where I was born. But every scar they gave me just became a sharper thorn. Cold is the crown upon the head of men who walk alone. Silence is the language of a king who's built his throne. I don't speak in anger, and I don't beg for my place. But every man who crossed me learned the meaning of disgrace. Cold is the crown. I pour my wine in solitude and toast the breaking dawn. Watch the men who burn me try to figure where I've gone. I don't the shadows of the past or call for war. I simply become everything they never were prepared for. They mistook my stillness for a weakness in my bones. Now they stand outside the gates of everything I own. Cold is the crown upon the head of men who walk alone. Silence is the language of a king who's built his throne. I don't speak in anger, and I don't beg for my place. But every man who crossed me learned the meaning of disgrace. Cold is the crown. You can't buy what I bled to earn. Every fire that you said I learned. You took what was mine and you walked away clean. Now you're standing before a man you've never seen. I don't raise my voice, I don't raise my hand, I just raise my glass to the end you never planned. Cold is a crown upon the head of men who walk alone. Silence is the language of a king who's built his throne. I don't speak in anger, and I don't beg for my place. But every man who crossed me learned the meaning of disgrace. Cold is the crown. She poured my coffee without asking how I took it. After the second morning, she just knew. She never asked me where I'd been the night before. Just moved around the kitchen, quiet and true. She found the things I kept inside the lining of my coat. She put them back and never said a word. Some women run from what they find inside a man like me. She was the only one who stayed, and that I heard. She knew what I was, and she stayed anyway. She knew what the nights cost, and she greeted every day. She never asked me to be something I was not. She just loved the broken parts of me that the rest of the world forgot. She knew what I was. I tried to build a wall between her and the work I did, pretend that there were two of me. She saw right through it. She said one night while I was leaving, come back in one piece. I said I always do. She said so far. I never deserved the way she looked at me, with full eyes and no accusation. I never deserved the grace of a woman who understood the complication. And I would burn every empire I built to have her back for one more morning. She knew what I was. She knew, and she stayed.
I came back in November with a different kind of quiet, the kind that doesn't fill a room the way it used to do. I shook the hands of people who had memorized my stories, but couldn't find the man inside, the face they thought they knew. The coffee tasted different and the house seemed made for someone who laughed the way I laughed before I learned what silence caused. I sat beside the window for a winter without speaking, and catalog the inventory of what had been lost. What the war left was a man who couldn't tell you. What the war left was a room he couldn't fill. What the war left was a discipline to carry. What the war left and carry still. They gave me medals for the things I wish had happened different. They gave me words that covered up the parts they couldn't name. I put the medals in a box and put the box inside the closet, because a piece of tin was never gonna carry the weight of the same. I don't ask for understanding from the ones who weren't beside me. I just ask for enough quiet to hear myself again. Because underneath the damage, underneath the winter, there's still a man in here who remember who he was. I just wanna be him again, even for one moment. I just wanna be him again. Silence, stain, silence. What the war left was a man who decided that surviving wasn't the same as living, and started the longer work of finding out the difference. Of finding out the difference. Built our empires on the opposite sides of the same dark city. Started from the same hunger, ended in a different committee. I knew your name before you knew mine. That was by design. You studied the map of the territory. I studied the man behind the line. Now we're sitting at the same table, same drink, same room. Two kings who both know exactly how this ends. And too soon, two kings at the same table, two codes that cannot reconcile, two men who respect each other across an impossible mile. We built the same kind of empire, with the same kind of blood and cost. Two kings at the same table, knowing one of us is already lost. I don't hate you, I want that said before whatever comes. I hate the mathematics of the situation, not what you've become. You're the version of me that took a different road at 22. And I'm the version you'd have been if certain things broke through. Two mirrors facing each other in a room with no escape. We both see the reflection, we both know what's at stake. Two kings at the same table, two codes that cannot reconcile. Two men who understand each other across an impossible mile. If we were different men in a different time, we might have built something worth seeing. But the city doesn't bend for sentiment, and neither do we. I respect you. That's why this is so cold. Two kings at the same table. Two kings at the same table. One city, one crown, one throne. Two men who built the same empire, both knowing this ends alone.